Today, on the 10th rendition of WrestleMan with the podcast, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. For what titles? Drew versus Damian Priest, apparently happening pretty soon. Plus, we got plenty of King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament matches. Plus, we got a lot more, and I got a special surprise guest for you guys. So don't go anywhere. The 10th rendition of WrestleMan with the podcast starts right now.
Welcome to WrestleMan with the podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell.
Yes, you heard that correctly. We are on 10 episodes already of this podcast. I can't believe it. And I couldn't think of a better thing to do for the 10th episode than to have a special guest. You've seen him before on predictions and review videos. Troy, how are we doing, Troy?
10. Oh, Ty Dillinger. I remember when he was over.
So, yes, good old days of NXT there. But yeah, Troy, feels good to have you back on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. And
nope. No Matt.
No Matt today, so that means the stream will actually go function well.
Yeah,
sorry, Matt.
He won't accidentally leave. Yeah, sorry, Matt. But yeah, nice LA Knights shirt. I'm just wearing a Pittsburgh shirt.
To be fair, I was wearing this already when you texted. When you're showing out, sorry, my dog is over that way. When you were like, when I saw that you were doing your show today, I'm like, I'm already wearing my LA Knights shirt.
Yeah. And
yeah.
If you think for a podcast professional like this, we'd plan this ahead of time. Nope. We literally texted a couple hours before. Troy's like, hey, I want to podcast. Like, sure, why not?
Yeah. Listen, professionalism.
Into the...
Hold up. You were lagging really badly on my end. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was. The Wi-Fi's been actually iffy, so maybe we jinxed ourselves saying everything's going to be smooth.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Hopefully we should be good. Let's get into PowerPoint here.
Let's go. What we got?
You shouldn't have said anything. But yeah, this is Troy's first time looking at the PowerPoint, so lay at the smack talk to start this, going over SmackDown from Friday. Let's talk about first Nick Aldis telling Cody, your next challenger is going to be Logan Paul at King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. The thing is, we have no clue what's on the line here. And it's weird because Cody was like, oh, if I win the U.S. title, I'm a Grand Slam champion. And Logan's like, well, I want to be undisputed champion. But when I look at Wikipedia and other things, they're just saying title versus title. I haven't heard winner take all or anything. So this is just really strange to me.
That is... It's also very fascinating. Why does Logan Paul's world title matches only happen in Saudi Arabia?
I think he's a pretty big deal there, from what I know.
Is that over in Saudi Arabia that he he will skip pay-per-view after pay-per-view, but he's always there for the big four and the Saudi shows. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And the thing is, on paper, in terms of quality, this could be a great match, really great match, but it's just the fact that Logan's the U.S. champ that makes this weird. If he wasn't the champion, if he would have lost at Mania, then this would have been more justified.
I was texting you earlier about this. I find it weird how you go from 1 month where AJ had to win his chances to get a number one contenders match to face at Backlash, where Logan Paul can just walk in and just be like, hi, guys. I think that just kind of rinky-dink. And I kind of wish AJ just got another crack at the belt. I'm sad that was just a one and done, because that match was incredible.
It was. I mean, Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars, and he's the ultimate wrestling reviewer. So,
and I'm like, why didn't they just do that? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's weird.
And it was weird too, because Styles and Cody only had a few weeks of build, and only they mentioned the or the Bullet Club thing one time, because they only had 2 segments together. So
yeah,
I was like, you could have done one more match to really build up a heated rivalry. Yeah.
But bring up, I can't remember, did they bring up AJ facing Dusty?
I think so, because Styles' ring gear he wore at Backlash was like purple, and that's like when he beat him in like
Okay.
TNA or something, I think. So
I mean, listen, Logan Paul has proven himself enough to me that he can do a good match. My question is, what is this build going to be going forward? Like, is Logan going to keep doing cheat shots? Like, because obviously Logan Paul's not going to win, but if Cody wins the U.S. title, then what?
everyone's saying if it's for both titles, it will end in a schmoz. Like either the Bloodline gets
Great.
involved or like the Wyatt Six. Possibly, we'll talk
the
about
Wyatt
that.
Six could
Get
be
involved.
heels. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just really weird. Like I said, I have a feeling they have a contract signed on SmackDown on Friday. I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul like found a loophole, being like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I don't have to defend my belt because you people don't deserve to see me defend this, but you have to defend your title, Cody." So then it's like, okay, so Cody can win. He doesn't need to hold because I know Grand Slam champion, but Cody does not need both belts at all.
No.
And what are you going to do with the mid card scene? Are you going to try to make the Intercontinental title on both shows, even though you just drafted Sammy to Raw? I just think that doesn't make sense.
Damian just beat Sami Zayn now for the IC title. We have no mid card belts anymore. Sucks it for you. It's strange. It is very strange. I wonder if Ultimate Warrior won the IC title from Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 6.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they immediately made Warrior vacate the IC title, and then they had a tournament. But I don't want, because like we're already having a tournament for the King of the Ring. Can you imagine if they do a U.S. title tournament immediately after King of the Ring? Like, guys, we just had a tournament.
You need someone because of how good of a heel Logan is. You want someone to really like ultimately dethrone him, and I think LA Knight's. Yeah, I think LA Knight's that guy.
Wear this shirt right now.
I feel like you're kind of robbing him if you're just gonna let Cody win it. Like
Unless
Cody should win, obviously, but like if it's for both belts, this just makes it so awkward, and you're booking yourselves in a corner.
Yeah,
I feel like this is WWE because the Wrestling Observers have said they don't know really what to do with Cody until Roman and Rock come back, which you can tell that like they're kind of trying to figure out opponents for him until Roman comes back, probably.
Like I said, I think if you could have just had like another AJ Styles month, and I think that would have, because is he going to face someone new every month? Because after the King of the Ring, what do we got next? Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Clash at the Castle, then Money in the Bank.
Well, because Cody's obviously going to be there, but we know that like McIntyre has got to be the main event for that. But like, is Cody going to go through everyone? Like a month feud?
I will say I heard this from Sam Roberts, and this was actually very interesting because Nick Aldis was kind of like, Cody, I've known you for a long time. And he was saying, like, the way he introduced Cody, he didn't announce him like, here comes Cody Rhodes. He was just like, oh, here comes Cody, introducing Cody Rhodes. So, and he's kind of looked buffed and jacked. And I think he said in multiple interviews, like, I'm not done wrestling. And I think in one of the backstage segments, it showed his picture from a match with Cody, the match at All In. So,
for the NWA title.
I could imagine Nick Aldis using his power. Being like, Cody, your next challenger is me. Low blow, turns heel. Clash. Okay. I think that would be an actually pretty intriguing match for Clash at the Castle, him versus Aldis, an all-in rematch.
Because Aldis is from over that way. Is he Scottish or is he I
think he's English. I think he's British, but it's UK.
They're close enough, let's be honest.
Close enough. You already got Drew.
If we have any UK viewers, they're gonna yell at us in the comment section.
Yeah.
We're dirty Americans.
But I think that I'd be intrigued by that. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Do that type of feud after this.
And Nick Aldis is a fantastic wrestler. I used to watch him as a Magnus in TNA, and he was quite good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's also married to Mickie James, so this man won at life.
Yes, he has. We had a few tournament matches too on SmackDown. Obviously, we had Tama Tonga in his first singles match defeat Angelo Dawkins. It was supposed to be Bobby Lashley, but he's injured.
Can we talk about why are so many people injured right now, and it's insane. Like, we've had 3 substitutions in this tournament just because of injury.
Yeah,
everyone is like peaked at Mania, and now even after Backlash, all the injuries are starting to pile up. Like, so many people are gone now.
I feel like I've seen a lot of comments that say this, and it makes sense. Of like everyone just tries. Everyone usually has injuries, like it's a brutal sport wrestling, but they try to gut it out for WrestleMania because they want to be in the card, and then afterwards, the severely injured people will leave
Yeah.
because they did Mania, so they'll take their time off. Like Seth, obviously,
Rhea had to take time off.
Rhea take time off.
Bobby,
There's
Asuka.
But then there's guys like Punk and Drew who are hurt but are still on TV, and then Dominic's still on TV. Mysterio's still on TV, so
It's weird to me that for some reason Dominic, who's also injured, still on TV, but Rhea's not. I don't know. Maybe that's just because isn't it like her injury is what, a shoulder injury, and he got like an arm injury.
yeah.
They're very similar, but Dominic can still come on TV, but Rhea can't. I don't know. I find it weird how they do all
it
that.
It is odd. But anyway, in that match itself, Tonga won. Not surprised by that. Good little match. But what interested me was the backstage segment. If you see the picture of Paul Heyman looking scared to death. I'm loving Solo's promos. And I love, too, that he acknowledges what Heyman like said to, I think, all this either last week or a few weeks ago, where I think Solo acknowledged, like, hey, you didn't talk to Roman since Mania, but I did. Like, that was a pretty cool nitpick right there.
That babyface Roman is going to hit so well, dude. It's going. Oh my.
Yeah. And every time Solo like asks Heyman a question, I love how he's so condescending. He's like, right, Paul?
Yeah.
And Paul's just like scared to death and he has to agree with him. And yeah, I love this new talking Solo while Tonga and Loa don't really do the talking. They let Solo do it. Like it's intriguing. They're finally putting the spotlight on Solo.
Which I feel like, yeah, I just think is a good thing. He definitely deserves it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm curious because as we know, Jacob Fatu is employed, so I wonder when he's gonna show up eventually.
Well, we'll get to that later. But like I said,
I'm sorry.
Great segment there.
Great segue.
Yeah, soon. I'm going to look up here because I got to see all the results because there were so many matches and it's so hard to remember all of them. Carmelo Hayes defeated Baron Corbin. Corbin's kind of return match on the main roster, and then Carmelo, I think he rolled him up.
Now it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
So I don't watch NXT. I know he got very popular, Braun Breaker.
He did, yeah.
But for some reason, they broke up that tag team, even though that's the only reason why most people like Baron Corbin. Now he's a face. It's so weird to see Baron Corbin the face. He's been dirty since like 2016 or something.
He's always
heel. I think this is different for him. I kind of so far I'm digging it. I mean, I love Carmelo Hayes. He's probably gonna lose this next round. I don't remember who he's facing next round. I think maybe it's Randy Orton. I mean, that's gonna be a great match. But if he beats Randy Orton, that's gonna blow my mind.
Yeah, I'll be shocked.
Not happening.
And then on a live event, LA Knight beat Santos Escobar.
What did your
Kofi also beat Rey Mysterio at a live event. If you got a few live event,
and Shayna Baszler beat Maxine Dupree.
Yeah,
what's your thoughts on some of the tournament matches being on house shows?
I guess it's good for the audience themselves that they actually have like a match that matters for TV on a live show because you don't get that. It's still a bit weird though.
But you can't put those because only the
especially Kofi Ray not on TV. Like, man, I would have wanted to see that.
2 former world champions going at it. Nope. And it's also that Kofi won. I know Kofi is linked to the former world champion. It always weirds me when Ray, because Ray's like a 3-time world champion, just loses on house shows. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit weird.
Like you can't tell me like each of these matches were 10 minutes. You tell me you can't put like 10 minutes out of something else to fit these matches on, or like put them on like this upcoming week. Like, isn't the point of the King of the Ring? It's like an endurance where you have to keep winning all these matches. You can have a guy wrestle again because like he can wrestle the start of the show and end of the show. I don't think that's a problem. Maybe it is, but I kind of think it's silly to have these on house shows.
Yeah, but they're still going to keep doing them. But the women's match side, pretty predictable. Bianca beating Candice LeRae, Cargill defeating Piper Niven, Nia Jax beating Naomi, and then Tiffany Stratton won as well.
I will say I love the Cargill face Piper Niven because I feel like Piper Niven was the perfect opponent for
Jade.
Because of how fucking strong Jade is, just picking Piper up like it was insane.
It was her first singles match in WWE, so good for Jade.
I am curious how this is going to, because I don't see Jade and Bianca actually taking a pinfall, but I can see them getting out of the tournament in some like screwy like DQ situation or some shit.
Well, we got Jade versus Nia, so I think Jade will win that. Bianca Tiffany, I don't know if Tiffany's gonna pin her, but maybe some BS thing, like maybe she wins by count out or something. Yeah,
Bianca don't get pinned ever.
But so, I'd love to see Tiffany do it, like pull off a shocker, because to push her, she would be my pick for Queen of the Ring personally. But
because like I don't see anyone on the Raw side.
Maybe Io, but like she's already a champion, she didn't need it.
No, you can put it on Leo. I always want to say Valkyrie. It's like Valkyrie.
Valkyria, I think, or Valkyria.
Yeah, I can never say her last name right.
She kind of feels new to be Queen of the Ring, but
that's probably why they got when we get to Raw, where they got rid of Ilya.
Yeah,
but I probably how they're gonna do it is like one woman. The women's is SmackDown wins, and Raw gets King of the Ring.
Yeah, because in terms of the men's side, we got Carmelo, Randy as mentioned, and then Tama Tonga versus LA Knight for SmackDown for quarterfinals.
I mean, good stuff. I mean, out of everyone, two that I actually could see going all the way are probably LA Knight and Randy Orton.
Yeah. More Randy to me. I
don't know. I feel like because Bloodline shenanigans, like he does have a good chance to at least get to the finals. But I feel like something's going to happen that like they'll stop him.
Well, I feel like Orton called out Tonga and said like, oh, we're going to meet again. So I feel like Tonga's going to beat LA Knight, Orton's going to win, and then they'll clash.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can see that.
And then Gunther versus Jay next week for the semifinals.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Jay and Ilya, but kind of expected. But like,
I was really hoping we had Ilya and Gunther again. I'm like, those matches they had at NXT. Yeah.
But you know what? Let's get into Raw.
All right, Raw rundown. All right.
Yeah, Raw rundown indeed. But let's talk first about Drew McIntyre and the Damian Priest segment. And I think this was one of Damian's best, maybe his best promo I've seen him cut in a while, or maybe ever, because he was speaking facts about Drew. Like saying, oh, you treated, or like you had Punk as more important than your wife.
Like that was amazing. Okay. Damian, I love Damian. I will say he's not always the best at promos, but this was definitely like one of his top promos. And I'm just loving this McIntyre character who is just so like he can't let shit go, and it's just costing him everything.
What do you call CM Punk fans stupid? If you're a CM Punk fan, you're stupid.
It's gold. It's gold. It's like one of my favorite things right now. But
I'm loving
also weird is because Clash of the Castle is coming up, and he's going to be face. But then what? Like I'm more worried about how this is going to end. Because by the time he comes back and Punk comes back, is Punk the heel? Is he the heel? I don't know what's going on. Like right now, I'm loving it, but I'm like thinking future booking plans. They're gonna have to do a lot to like work this out because I think it's gonna be awkward.
I do like, though, because back in freaking the Vince McMahon era, you'd have heels get along with heels just because they're heels, and faces get along with faces just because they're faces. I like that we're having heel versus heel feuds. Like, it's justified why these two don't like each other. Like, if this was Vince McMahon's era, they'd have Drew and Damian tagging every now and then for no reason, even though they hate each other. But here, it makes sense why they have bad blood with each other. Drew wants the title. I feel like you can get away with Damian versus Drew in Scotland just because it's Drew. Maybe you can add Punk to the mix if he gets cleared by then, but we'll see. I'm wondering if Damian's going to defend that in Saudi Arabia, because Drew's probably not going to get cleared in time for that. Is Damian going to be there, and is he going to fight someone?
I was going to ask that, yeah, because Damian, I don't think that pay-per-view is 2 weeks away, and Damian has no program right now for that pay-per-view.
I thought it would be Strowman because he came out when he returned and confronted the Judgment Day, and JD McDonough warned him backstage. That made me think like that could be a good guy for Damian to beat. Like solidify his reign even more. But I hope they have something for him. I don't think Drew's going to be cleared. And I think they should save Drew's world title match for Scotland. I don't think you should do 2 matches at Queen and King of the Ring and then Scotland. That wouldn't make sense. So,
now,
yeah, it's a little weird.
I was going to ask, so let's fantasy book for real quick. So, if McIntyre does win a Clash of the Castle and Punk gets cleared, is Drew still losing to Punk, or is Drew going to beat Punk?
I think Drew needs to 100% beat Punk. Punk's in his 40s. He's established. Like, he doesn't need the world title. And if we're going to build Punk wanting to main event Mania again, like, that could be his story because I was supposed to, but I got injured. He's got to go after a world title. So I feel like he can win the Rumble or win the Chamber and climb his way to a championship match where then he can win next year. Just feel like if he comes back from injury and just beats Drew in like his first, besides the Rumble, he hasn't had a one-on-one match yet since his return. I don't know about him winning the world title right away in one of his first matches. I feel like you got to make solidify Drew's heel run even more. You could have a series of matches and maybe have Punk ultimately win, but I'm on the Drew train just because I love his character so much.
Okay. Like I do too. I was just curious how you would think about that because I don't know. That could happen, like if Punk beats Drew at SummerSlam or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
You never know. You never know. It's a very interesting tightrope they're walking with the World Heavyweight title. Because at least
we have 2 world titles, unlike last year.
No, because the 2 most important players in this title feud is not the champion. Let's be honest. Damian Priest is the least interesting because
that was a given.
Punk. And poor Damian's doing like you said, he had a great match with Jay at Backlash. It was pretty good. And after that, like I said, he has no opponent because he's just still talking to McIntyre and Punk, but they're both injured, so you can't face them. So what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We'll definitely see.
Even on Raw, like he's just in the Judgment Day backstage segments, just bitching about Carlito being there and nothing else. It's weird. I don't know. I kind of want him to do more, but he's not.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Maybe a face turn for him. But let's get into another part of the Judgment Day. How about Liv Morgan and the Dominic Mysterio alliance? I don't know if you could see from it's very hidden in Liv Morgan's picture. She posted it, and in like her right pocket or something, it was Dominic's bandana because he wore it earlier in the night, and it seems like from the picture that he handed it to her. So I'm loving this. I'm loving these little teasing that they have.
We're going to get a custody of Dom match again in SummerSlam, Liv versus Rhea. Listen.
I kind of want Rhea to just flat out turn on Dom because Rhea's the baby face. Everyone loves her, and Dom's like the big heel. Like, Rhea doesn't need Dominic on her side anymore.
Okay. Fair.
Like, Rhea should just be pissed that, like, why are you with Liv after all this time?
I'm pissed. Why would you come on? What a downgrade. Sorry.
I would... The pop if Rhea like low blows Dom or something in a return or attacks him, like, oh my god.
It will be huge. It will be huge, especially because I am liking this like weirdly cowardly heel Liv that they're doing, where Liv was backstage was like, "Is Becky a bitch?" And then Becky gave the worst punch. That punch did not connect. Like, what the shit was that? Okay, but I thought that was gold. I think I'm loving Liv's new character right now.
I do too. I feel like I know Becky just won, but I feel like we should give Liv the title. I think in a cheating way, maybe Dominic can help her win the title. I just feel like it's time. Becky she can lose as many times as she wants. She's established. She's one of the biggest women's stars. It doesn't matter if the reign's not that long. I think you got to give it to Liv here.
Yeah. If you do a predictions video and I'm on it, I don't know. I'm still on the Becky will retain, at least for this month.
We'll see. But very interesting. A feel-good moment on Raw. Lillian Garcia returned. Samantha Irvin introduced her. I think Lillian introduced Kofi. But before that, she gave Samantha Irvin her props, saying, "You're doing great," and they hugged. What a feel-good moment.
What a nice passing of the torch between ring announcers. Because Lillian Garcia was there for decades, wasn't she?
Oh my god, a long time.
Like
She
since
was
the
a lot of
Attitude
people's
Era.
childhoods. Yeah.
I know. So I feel like that's just a great passing of the torch. We have our new woman announcer now. It's Samantha Irwin, and she's doing a great job. And I feel like that was very cute.
She is. Props to both of them. It was awesome.
I wonder as well, does Lillian just live in in South Carolina? She was like, I'll pass the torch. I'm just at my house. I'll just come. Because I don't know where she lives. Because, yeah, she was just like, hi.
Yeah,
They didn't
random
build her up. She was
appearance.
like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah. Made it more shocking though.
True.
Chad Gable slapping Otis after losing to Sami Zayn. So again, Chad Gable just completely crapping on the Alpha Academy. It's just being more serious
for those Creed brothers to I know it's happening. I just want it to happen now. Stop with the damn teases. Just give me full on heel Creed brothers.
Because I think like Max, I always like talking to Maxine like, why are you doing this and stuff. So I think we're still we're teasing like them just siding over and turning on the Alpha Academy.
Just give it to me now. I want it so bad. I want to see heel Creed brothers, and hopefully heel Ivy as well. I feel like Ivy could work really well as a heel with them.
They need like a personality because they're just kind of like they're great wrestlers, but just bland characters. They're
happy go lucky. They're Kurt Angles, but less funny. They're just Kurt Angles. Any amateur wrestler pretty much has the Kurt Angle gimmick.
I do feel like because it's a triple threat match, I think Bronson beat Tozawa on Raw. I feel like Bronson's taking the pin to protect Gable, but they want to keep Sammy as champ a bit longer so we can build up Gable and his stable. And then when they meet, maybe Money in the Bank's in Toronto. It's not exactly Montreal's hometown, but it is in Canada.
It is in Canada.
That could be where he beats him.
No, I just love Gable's stable. That was gold made. I don't know if you planned that, but that was hilarious. I can see that. Yeah, they always tell because I'm gonna be honest. Bronson Reed is the most least interesting thing about this feud. Because let's be honest, he's a big man. He's a great wrestler.
I appreciate that they're including him in this, and you just know it's like it's got to be the guy who takes the pin.
We need someone to take the pinfall, unless Sammy loses the title. Which honestly, I'm more of a I could see it. Unless they do the thing where Otis and Tozawa are trying to help Chad cheat and fail, and that's how Sammy pins Bronson, and that's when Chad fully kicks out the Alpha Academy.
I could definitely see that. I'm very intrigued by this Gable character. Definitely the right decision to turn him heel. Speaking of the Creed brothers, they were in, I think it was like a fatal 4-way #1 contender tag team match. It was a fun match. And of course, Bauer and McDonough are the #1 contenders for Awesome Truth.
We cannot have another tag team except Judgment Day go for them fucking tag titles. I'm so fucking sick of them just being the tag champions or going up tag. Come on.
I'm happy Finn got a pin because poor Finn just hasn't been great.
But Jesus Christ, people, stop. I'm bored. Listen.
It's just felt random too, that #1 contenders match. Like, I like that we split the tag titles, but let's not like just completely stop like storylines.
Yeah,
like
there's
back to randomness. Like, no, keep storylines going for the tag titles.
You have New Catch Republic. You got the Creed brothers. You had the Authors of Pain. Come on. You tell me you can't have one motherfucking match with those No. Because let's be honest, Awesome Truth are going to lose those belts like any second.
Yeah.
The fact that they've held the belts for longer than a week is shocking to me, not going to lie. I thought they were going to lose those things real quick. But they didn't.
I appreciate that they've held it for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Judgment Day got the titles back. So they can do like they hold all the gold 2.0 type thing.
They've done that already, though. Come on.
And hope Rhea comes back and wins the title or something. I don't know.
Like, they've already done the Judgment Day holds all the gold shtick already. I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. I kind of want Judgment Day to just break up at this point, and I'm kind of just I'm really over that. I think it's because Rhea's not there, and I just want Damian to turn a face.
Rhea and Dominic really kind of make the Judgment Day.
And Dom does nothing now. Carlito is
he's teasing the Liv stuff, so
yeah, and then JD is always the job guy, and Finn has been
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so over the Judgment Day right now.
I feel like Carlito's gonna kick out Priest. Like, he'll be responsible because Priest is still like, I don't like you because you costed me my match at Backlash last year.
So then we get a world title run between Carlito and Damian Priest.
I feel like Priest is going to turn face after he loses the belt. I think they'll keep him as a heel while he's champion, most likely.
Like I said, just because Matt would love world champion Carlito.
Oh God, yes.
I heard if this ever happens, I will hear his screams from miles away.
We will all hear his screams.
It's going to be, honestly, kind of wanted just to see how it would be.
Yeah, but the aforementioned main event that we talked about, Jay versus Dragunov, amazing stuff. I'm happy they're treating Dragunov like a main event or like a big deal. I know you said you wish we had Gunther Ilya.
I really wanted it.
I will say a lot of fans, including me, kind of like that they're saving it. Why do it on a Raw with commercial breaks and then in limited time when you can do it at Bash with Berlin, baby, with a hot German crowd?
For what, though? Is it going to be for a title?
Could be. You never know. We'll just have to see. Let him cook. I'm not surprised Jay won because he's kind of like the established, like one of the top baby faces. Not much of a surprise to me that he won.
I do believe Ricochet's match with Dragunov was better. I love Dragunov. He is just, this man does not understand that wrestling's fake, and it's fucking amazing. This man's spiking himself and kicking ass. It's just, I am starting, as I get older and I'm low and my wrestling tastes grow, I just kind of like big guys just beating the shit out of each other. Like, it's just
big man slapping meat.
Yes, it's fucking him, Sheamus, Gunther, McIntyre.
Yeah, those are
crispy,
the best type of matches. Those are great type of matches.
But no, I'm glad. I am curious what Dragunov's going to do after this. Now that he's not in the tournament, I don't know if it's because like they would look like because Gunther was staring down Dragunov, so clearly they're still teasing that match. So I don't know if I don't know.
Gunther posted too, like until again or something. Like he posted a picture of him and Dragunov on Raw, and he's like maybe another time or something. So I'm like, yeah, they're doing this in the future, definitely. I feel like the casuals still have to get used to Dragunov because like families and stuff that go to Raw may not know him because they don't watch NXT. Yeah. So they're probably trying to still like give the spotlight on him, but not immediately like giving him like a big like world title push or anything. Jay's the guy everyone knows.
I do hope he goes to the IC title. I feel like a Dragunov could be him versus Sammy, him versus
Gable. Yeah.
Listen. Take my money now. my wallet. Right now. I will pay you, please. But no, I thought it was a great match. Like I said, I'm enjoying this King of the Ring. They're having really good matches, especially the women's side compared to what they had the first time they had.
Oh, God, they actually have time this year.
Look at that. What can time do for you? So yeah, I'm very looking forward. We can get to... I don't know. Because I'm very curious as well, like, what happens. Because remember when the last King of the Ring and the Queen stuff happened? Do you know what the winners got? Nothing.
I feel like they're going to change that this year, and the winners actually, like... I don't think the winners maybe get a title shot, but it's like they're going to get pushed really soon. I feel like
it's like in 2002, when Lesnar won the King of the Ring. He won and then got to main event SummerSlam. That was also the caveat. I liked that. I wish King of the Ring had more stakes like the Rumble does. Like, you get a world title match after this. I feel like that would put more pressure and more, like, oomph. Like, even though King of the Ring is a huge accolade in WWE, kinda. The King of the Ring is always weird because they bring it back, take it away, bring it back, treat it as a big thing, or not at all.
Yeah, because the history of it and who's won it.
I don't know. Like I said, I wish they would put King of the Ring as, like, yes, you win this huge thing like the Rumble, and then you get a world title match.
Yeah, I feel like they don't do that every year. I feel like the Brock year was one of the only years that I remember them actually saying, like, oh, you get a title shot. Like, every other year, it was just, like, either their gimmick.
Which I wish,
or it was, like, you're going to get pushed soon or something.
Yeah, I just wish they would do the 02 again, because I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, but for the men's side, I want it to be Gunther versus Orton in the finals. I think if you want to really say, like, dude, Gunther's getting pushed to the moon, he beats Orton in the finals. because
Okay,
Orton's
okay.
been protected since his return. He really hasn't gotten pinned, I don't think. That like maybe once by Drew, I think, in the chamber. So I think, yeah, have Gunther beat Orton in the finals. Like that's just a stamp of approval right there for him.
Like I said, who did I'm trying to remember who did Logan pin for the triple threat at Mania? Did he beat
pinned
Kevin?
KO, yeah.
That's why. Okay, cannot remember. I'm on the Gunther versus LA train.
That's probably my second option. That'd be a cool final. Women's side, I'd want Tiffany versus Io. Even though they're both heels, I feel like that's just a good match. They both do moonsaults. Tiffany's just got the prettiest moonsault. Moonsault versus moonsault. And I'm on team Tiffy time to win Queen of the Ring, 100%. I know both King and Queen of the Ring would be heels, but they're just better as heels.
Yeah. I'm on the Lyra versus Tiffy.
Yeah, that's a good match, too.
I think put her over. Like, give her a nice big push, Lyra. She's friends with Becky Lynch, so she's already aligned with the top talent. Give her, like, this good little push to see how she does. And obviously, she's not going to win. But I feel like it's weird that Tiffany won her first match not on a house show, while Gunther won his first match on TV. I just feel like the people that won them on house shows aren't going to actually win the final, which is weird because Tiffany won. But that makes me think who else could win, unless for some reason
Jade maybe. That's like the one other girl I'm thinking might win.
Maybe Jade, but Jade does not need. Well,
she doesn't need it. Bianca sure as hell doesn't need it.
If you give it to Jade though, what a massive push!
Yeah, but they're the tag champs though. They're the tag champs.
But that could also turn to a Bianca heel turn.
Yeah, maybe.
If that ever happens, like they could have like the tag team breakup because Bianca like how Christian turned on Edge in 2001 because he got jealous from the King of the Ring.
Yeah,
they could do that. Like that is honestly a possibility that they could do.
Yeah, that's true. But I'd like to see them reign as champs for a while before they immediately one turns on the other.
Yeah, no, I know. Just throwing out there, that is a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Always is. But pretty good SmackDown and Raw overall. Let's go to ring discoveries here. Basically, like online wrestling rumor news. From the observers, they're basically saying Cody versus The Rock most likely is scheduled for WrestleMania 41.
So you're telling me that we have to wait an entire year because they have no plans?
Well, I think it's because The Rock's doing this UFC movie. I've seen a lot of his Instagrams on like his training and stuff, and I feel like that's going to take up his whole summer. So he probably can't do SummerSlam, unfortunately, or he can't like build it up. Maybe he can at least be there to make an appearance, but like can't fight in a match. He maybe can't do it till next year. Which I don't mind. It's just, it's going to be a lot to wait for that because Raw after Mania, they teased the one-on-one match. So
it's like it's Mania 29, 28
and
all
it's
over
like,
again.
what the hell's Roman going to do then? For Mania then?
An excellent question. Solo?
Yes, him. People were saying maybe Seth because Seth costed Roman everything because Roman chose to hit Seth with the chair. So
but
maybe
Roman's turning back as a face, though.
I'm not sure they're going to immediately, just even if there's reactions, bring him back as a face. I just don't think. I think, even though I think this might be a mistake because he could get he's going to get big cheers. I feel like we're getting Cody Roman 3 at SummerSlam.
Oh, no.
I just think like what other opponent for Cody that's not Rock is big enough to headline. They're 1-1 in matches. I think that's why they'll probably do that. Even though it could be a mistake because people might cheer for Roman because they want him back, and you don't want people booing Cody.
Yeah, honestly, it's also weird. Sidetracking when they were going to talk about Cody versus Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is like the main attraction for SummerSlam. Why is it not Cody versus Logan Paul at the SummerSlam
at SummerSlam? I don't know. Is he maybe not as big of a deal in Cleveland as we think? Because maybe they just don't like him because of this.
I don't know. SummerSlam needs to have a big match.
But Drew Punk's one of them.
But like we know that the Bloodline's gonna probably have their War Games match. Like that seems the most likely, but it really depends if Roman or The Rock's gonna be there.
Yeah. The only maybe Orton would be the other opponent I could see for Cody being a big deal for SummerSlam.
Because legacy.
Yeah. But I just still like when Roman comes, because he was advertised for the SmackDown before SummerSlam, which makes me think he'll come back after like Money in the Bank for a few SmackDowns before SummerSlam. So I think he'll be wrestling there. So it's just who knows what he'll do. It's just what I think. I mean, and hey, if we saw that, I wouldn't mind seeing that live. You and you, Matt, and my roommate Dylan only saw the tag match live. You didn't see Cody Roman live. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to see that live.
No. Or, yeah.
But like I said, I would prefer Cody Rock to be at SummerSlam. It's just I think the Rock schedule can't work that out.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, you mentioned it earlier, WWE. I think there's like a bunch of writers and agents that are afraid that when Jacob Fatu debuts, he's going to outshine Solo.
Well,
and I don't blame him because he is athletic and a freak. And Solo, compared to Fatu, is kind of tame the way they wrestle. So I'm not surprised by these rumors.
Fatu is actually pretty great. I do get it, but I'm also, I don't know. Like, why can't you just have Jacob Fatu on Raw then? If you don't want him to outshine Solo, you have another brand.
It's like, are they just going to not debut him because they're just that afraid because they want to put the spotlight on Solo so bad?
You have another show. You can just say he's on that show.
I just feel like if you debut Fatu, you gotta be in the bloodline, especially if they do a War Games. Like, it just writes itself being in the bloodline.
I mean, yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I think it's silly.
Yeah, I think so too. But we'll see when he debuts. Uncle Howdy faction members here. I don't even have my notes saved for this. I talked about it last week.
I remember on the top of my head. So
I remember some of them.
Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Eric Rowan.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter Loomis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is Nikki Cross a part of that too?
She was rumored, yeah.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I heard like things that she was going to be in and that she wasn't. I don't know. Back and forth.
Then who's the sixth one then? Who's the sixth?
Well, Joe Gacy, I think, was rumored.
Joe Gacy, that's who it is. They're going to call him Joe Gacy.
Those make sense.
It does. It's very weird. I understand wanting to keep the memory of Wyatt alive and try to keep doing this storyline. I don't know. Personally, I leave the memories alone kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I'm sort of on that side, but I'm also kind of like, if these underutilized talents, like we haven't seen Rowan in years, Nikki Cross hasn't been used
done nothing.
Gacy hasn't done a lot in NXT. Like these guys actually have a chance to have a good spotlight on them. I'm like, I know it might be hard for some people who are big Wyatt fans to see this, but it's more honoring it than anything. No. So I and that could be the biggest chance of Bo Dallas's career too.
Next question. Are they going to be faces or heels?
I know I mentioned they can get involved in the Cody Logan match, but I think they got to be faces. I mean, if they know that this is like honoring Bray Wyatt, they're going to be cheered.
They have to be. Like, it's like how after the Dark Order was heels, and then after Brody Lee's death, they were faces.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's kind of like a you have to. You don't really have much of a choice.
This is pretty much WWE's Dark Order, kind of.
Well, but I'm intrigued. I've loved these QR codes. Dylan actually was the one that was like, hey, there's like a voicemail that has like a creepy message, and he showed it to me, and it was pretty cool. There was like creepy videos. So
like, I love when Bray Wyatt was coming back. I love those QR codes, like the White Rabbit and shit.
Those were awesome.
I'm just curious where they're gonna go with it, because we already have a lot of factions. I don't know. They're gonna be. What show are they gonna be on?
The draft's over. They don't have to go anywhere. They can go on both shows. They wreak havoc.
The QR code, the QR code's on both shows, if I remember.
And on pay-per-view Backlash, they had a few QR codes.
So it's like I don't know where they're going to fit, because if you go to Raw, like I said, unless they do get rid of the Judgment Day, which please.
I feel like WWE and just wrestling in general is missing those dark characters, obviously, because Wyatt passed away and Undertaker retiring. I feel like, why not bring back dark characters
Spooky
again?
characters, yeah.
Like Judgment Day doesn't count because they're not really that dark.
They're just goths that like purple.
Yeah, they're goths, but this is actually like spooky, scary type stuff.
Yeah,
so something kind of like a feel good thing to have that the darkness wrestling back in a way.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just curious where they're going to align and what their first program is going to be when they do show up.
Don't make a mistake with Wyatt or the Fiend and go after titles. Like, that's not what these type of characters should do. They should just wreak havoc on the roster.
I don't know, because every spooky character goes after a title. Taker goes after the WWE title. Like Bray Wyatt went after the world title. Like,
yeah.
You got to fight for something, because if you don't fight at least for a title or do something, you're kind of spinning your wheels unless you have very meaningful feuds, which hopefully these guys have, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Like, they can win the tag titles. Like, Eric Rowan and like Dexter Lumis can win the tag titles.
We'll see. I'm definitely intrigued by this new Wyatt 6. The final thing, we've talked about it a lot, but CM Punk and McIntyre's injury updates. I don't think there's much like big news. I think the big thing was Drew should hopefully apparently be cleared by Clash at the Castle, and Punk should be cleared by around SummerSlam. So it seems like the stars will hopefully align with them recovering from their injuries, for Drew to be healthy for Scotland and Punk to be injured for their big SummerSlam match.
Yeah. Which, like I said, hopefully they heal up well. But when they do come back, hot damn, it's gonna be.
Yes,
chef's kiss.
But and get rid of this presentation. The final thing that me and Troy are gonna do is we got our takedown top 5, and it is both of our current favorite wrestlers right now. And this, when I texted this to Troy, he's like, "Man, that's gonna be a tough
It's gonna be tough.
list.
It's gonna be tough." Okay. You go first because I still have to decide.
Oh,
that's right.
I got it on my iPod or iPhone notes. I can't believe I said
you still have an iPod.
I still have an iPod Touch, baby.
How does it still work?
From this counts like every promotion, like AEW, New Japan, WWE. I just have AEW and WWE because that's what I watch the most. I think I only have one AEW guy, and he is number 5, and that is MJF. Despite his injury, I know he's injured, but man, like his character, ever since I first watched AEW, it has been just so intriguing. He's been my favorite AEW guy for a while.
He has been gone for 5 months, so like I was thinking about putting him on my list, but I didn't because, like I said, he's not there.
I didn't give a shit. I'm like, listen, I love him too much.
I understand. I'm just, I did not put him on my list for that reason.
Yeah, but he's my number 5. Just the fact that and he's so good at being a heel. Inevitably, people cheered for him, and he became the people's scumbag. Just gold stuff.
Gold.
Underrated wrestler too, because everyone just talks about his character and his heel promos. People forget he's a damn athletic guy.
AEW is really missing him right now, I feel like.
Oh, they are really missing him. Yeah.
It's your number 4.
Number 4 is Rhea Ripley. Again, another injured person. Yeah, she just definitely my favorite woman star by a mile. She has definitely the biggest aura of any women's wrestler in any company right now. Honestly, she's on the Roman Reigns level in terms of the women's division. I think she's that good. And if she wasn't injured, I kept saying she could have held that belt till next year's Mania and have a long reign. That's just how good she is with the belt. So hopefully when she comes back, she'll actually be a baby face for good this time, and she'll have amazing feuds, and she's just fantastic. Number 3 is Drew McIntyre. We've talked about it a lot, but yeah, his character is just so good. Basically being 2011 Punk, feuding with current Punk, just being a troll. The one comment he said a few weeks ago, I think with the What Chance, say what if you French kiss your cousins?
What?
You're sick. The way he said that was gold.
So hard for that.
Yeah, just I've always loved Drew ever since he got his push in the pandemic era, and I've been catering for him to win a world title again. Like, I was so upset when he lost to Roman at Clash at the Castle. I mean, like, you robbed Drew, man.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping
that.
in Scotland they can finally give him his damn moment for good this time, just because his character's been so good. Number 2 is Cody Rhodes. Obviously, the man who finished the story, and I got a new shirt from WrestleMania of Cody Rhodes. Just so I've always liked Cody, but I can admit I'm one of those that kind of jumped on the bandwagon. Like, I liked him in AEW, but I saw the fans turning on him, and it was kind of weird to watch him be in denial and be like, I'm still going to be a babyface, even though you guys don't like me. But then when he came to WWE, it was incredible. Him fighting with a torn pec, the toughness of him to do that. Like, my God, man. And then the fact that he's like stayed a babyface and fans haven't turned on him yet as champ or turned on him last year. That's how good of a babyface he is. He's kind of an old school traditional white meat babyface, but it works somehow in today's wrestling. He made it work. That's how good he is. He's like the John Cena, but he's actually getting cheered.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought when you saw Stardust like all those years ago? This man's going to win the world title at Mania 40 and be the biggest babyface.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But
I would have bet money that person was drunk.
Yes. But my number 1 favorite wrestler is the guy Cody Rhodes beat. Yes, I know he lost the title, but it's still Roman Reigns. And I know everybody has criticisms about his reign being stale and him being a part-timer. And he was definitely not my number 1 favorite wrestler with his previous years. I still thought he was kind of overhated. It wasn't his fault. It was writers and Vince shoving him down our throats. But ever since 2020, this Tribal Chief character, he is the reason we are in this era right now of long-term storytelling and stuff that actually makes sense, and Raw and SmackDown being better. He is the number 1 reason to me that we're in this spot right now. Say what you want about him, but his reign was legendary. He gave us classic matches, an amazing end to the reign, and now we can have a freaking babyface turn that might overshadow anything Cody's doing if they do it right, the babyface turn, because he is going to be like the Rock levels of over once he turns babyface. So, yeah, he is. Yep, hold the one up. He is my number 1 favorite wrestler still. And he probably will be for a while. But it's your turn, Troy, to do your top 5.
So, I watch more variety because I watch TNA every once in a while.
Yeah, you and Matt are better than me when it comes to especially you when it comes to like other promotions.
I watch TNA more than I watch AEW. Not going to lie.
Yeah,
it's sad but true. I don't watch it. So top 5. So number 5 is Swerve. He's my only AEW guy. Swerve is amazing. Actually, I am so happy that they pulled the trigger on him being world champion. He is like the only reason I have to stay to date because I don't care about the elite stuff. I'm sorry, I don't. Okay, because Tony Khan is not wrestling. So why do I just getting beat up? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't care. But Swerve as champion is the highest spot and brightest light that AEW has right now. And I tune into AEW to watch Swerve stuff, and then I turn the channel off. I'm sorry, I do. But Swerve is still amazing. He is just so good with his character and stuff. I just remember when the Blood signed the contract like that.
Yeah, it was so
amazing. Amazing stuff. So Swerve's number 5. 4, I think my favorite person in TNA is Jordan Grace. She is just a beast. My God. She just directs people. It is insane. So she is definitely the highlight of TNA's women's division and definitely one of the biggest highlights of TNA. I love when she came out in the Rumble this year, popped huge for that because I was like, hey, TNA. But no, she's pretty great. She's very great. Number 3 is Rhea. Outside of you with Rhea. She is the star. And it's just such a shame that she had to get injured when her star could have kept rising. It's also funny. Did you see that she's still on the SummerSlam poster?
Yeah. Hopefully she'll
But
be back
Bailey
for
still
that.
is not on any posters. I saw people complaining about that, like, poor Bailey. A person is injured is a bigger star than you. Sorry. But Rhea, she is incredible. Her promos, her matches, just. Two is Cody. I'm on with you. I remember even being a fan of Stardust back in the day, and I saw him grow. Now, I remember I used to watch a lot of AEW when Cody was there, and I did get sick of him. Because Cody's storylines in AEW was just so secular. It felt like nothing happened. Like, once you faced Cody, you either went to nothing or you did something. Like, it was so just ticky-tacky.
Pretty much like Jericho today in his storyline.
He's pretty much, Jericho's taking Cody's spot in AEW, and it's annoying. Because I really don't like Chris Jericho anymore in AEW.
Yeah.
I think Jericho at this point, we can complain about this next time. The top 5 worst wrestlers. That's next week. Folks. Get ready. But Cody's amazing. Like I said, the fact that a pure babyface like that has gotten so over in modern day wrestling, being all smarky and stuff, is insane. It's just great to see it. Like, he's putting on matches and bangers. Like that AJ Styles match, scrumptious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my number one, we already know, is a man who likes men slapping. Gunther. He is
not surprised.
Been amazing. I love Gunther so much. This man just walks into a ring and I'm like, you have my attention. He just slaps like a ton of bricks. He destroys people. He makes people look like they've been through 5 car crashes. It is gorgeous. Listen, in my wrestling, I don't want to see all these high spots and all these flips. I just want to see fucking tall dudes kick the absolute shit out of each other. That's my kind of wrestling. That's what I want to see. What did Biggie say on the New Day podcast? You want your 30-minute classics? Not me. Nah. I just want to see big dudes beating the shit. Big, meaty men slapping meat.
Yes.
And that's
Gunther for me, realized when you said that, I'm like, man, like, how do I leave him off? But I still love my top 5. He'd probably be like 6, honestly. I think it goes to show what type of stuff we're into. Like, we're both like similar in terms of like we like our stuff, but Roman's more of a storyteller type wrestler. And I know people get bored with his matches, but I dig them, especially when it's against an over guy. You're like more into the Gunther type matches.
I think my problem with Roman is it got to the point where every Roman match, like when Roman started off with like Solo and all that stuff, they would be like new stuff. And then after Cody last year at Mania 39, it just every match of his was the exact same thing. And it got boring. Like before that, I will give it to you. He was the storylining, all that stuff, like Sammy's turn and the Sammy match and all that stuff, just pounding it on. And then from 39 to 40, every match was let's be honest, you knew exactly, like, all right, it's been 10 minutes in.
Well, I think
Solo coming right now.
Well, I think the Civil War and stuff was good. I think SummerSlam is when it took a turn for the worse, the Jay match.
Yeah.
I think that's when people started to turn on his matches and his reign. I think, thank God for The Rock, he kind of reinvigorated Roman and the Bloodline stuff.
Could you imagine if this was a timeline with The Rock just somehow never showed up and it was still Cody versus Roman in the main event? Like, it definitely wouldn't have been as over and like as huge as it ended up being.
I think I texted this to you. This will be our final thing we'll talk about because we're almost at an hour. Did you hear that apparently they were pitching for The Rock to dethrone Roman and then relinquish the title the next night?
He should have just spat on the belt. Fuck. If you want to devalue a title that you all been building for like 4 damn years, just spit on at that point. Like, that's basically the same damn thing.
Like, I love The Rock, but I think that goes to show his ego sometimes, thinking like, I bet when Punk got hurt, he was like, I got to save WrestleMania. Because he was literally saying that, like, in quotes, like, I got to save Mania. Like, as if yes, he did great when he turned heel. But, like, you really thought it was going to be a good idea to come back as a 50-year-old babyface before the great Hollywood final boss character and dethrone Roman. No one would have liked that.
We would have... Mania 40 would have gone from one of the greatest Mania of all time to one of the worst of all time.
It would have turned into WrestleMania 9.
And no one wants to be compared to WrestleMania 9.
No one wants to be compared to them. That's a great note to end it on.
Woo!
Thank you, Troy, for coming to my 10 episodes.
10.
I'll obviously be back next week at 7. Who knows who I'll have on? Maybe you'll be on. I want to get other people on as well besides you and Matt, like other friends that are wrestling fans. But
I'm the only one that exists.
Yeah, but I'll let you guys know. But have a safe week, guys. Like I said, Troy, thank you. You're going to hit the exact hour mark here. Have a safe week.